Phoenix's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Slaughter.
Phoenix's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Witch Doctor. Axe.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Vengeful spirits.
Phoenix's turn to ban.
All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to game number 3 of this crazy series. Once again, this is the WCA 2016 matchup between MVP Phoenix and TNC Pro Team. TNC took a convincing game 1, but MVP struck back in game 2, so it is now all forced down to this game 3. I'm going to be your caster, Annie, aka Android, and I am being joined once again by Sindar. How you doing, man?
Well, I'm doing pretty great. We get to see a third game between these two squads, always a treat, as you never know what come out. I mean, it looks like 2 different teams playing that second matchup versus the first. And really, this game at this point, like, you have to ask yourself, which MVP is going to turn up this game? TNC is going to turn up this game. And interesting that for the first this matchup, Slaughter makes it into the game. He's highly favored by both of these squads, and TNC get their hands on it, but MVP in return get their Witch Doctor Axe once again. I said last game, 2 most picked heroes in the last month or so, and they showed what they can do on those heroes last game.
Man, your internet's taken a dump. Hopefully we'll sort out audio issues for tomorrow's matches here. But yeah, you called it out. It's like 2 different teams playing. I think you named it very, very well in game number 1. And I think the draft of game number 2, that MVP and it seems like TNC are feast or famine. They're either all in on their game, they're on the money, they got the synergy, or it's like watching a sad little pump stack. They're just not getting the farm they need. So, I mean, if we're going for a 1-1 trade-off, this should favor TNC, but you never know. Honestly, I think it's going to come down to the momentum of the mid lanes, and neither mid has been picked up. So, in the internal fight of QO versus T-He, we'll see what's going to come out, as this is most likely going to be a DK mid. Love it.
Again, a really strong hero this patch. Just that tankiness. The ability to stay in the fights with the it synergizes really nicely with the axe, who can initiate for him, let him get that damage down. Although the counter to that is picking a Dragonite into a Slar, who has that minus armor, really negates a lot of Dragonite's power early. So if the Slar has a good game, Dragonite may struggle to get what he wants out of the lane.
Yeah, may struggle indeed, but I think the Dragonite is picked up just to kind of be that zoning presence, because you've got a Slardar on the side of TNC, you've got someone that wants to jump in and slap you down from long range, and Dragonite, he can be victim to that minus armor, but he also has decent armor of his own with that Dragon's Blood, so should be able to survive early enough. And again, I think it will come down to the mid matchup, so who does T-He pick up that will counter the DK mid? Are we going to see a mid puck, or maybe something a little bit more fight oriented? Ten seconds remaining.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Bounty Hunter.
Radiant team pick.
Imber Spirit.
Oh.
Phoenix's turn to
All
bat.
right, it could be safe lane. I'm gonna say it's gonna be mid, but that does mean that Ember is vulnerable to burst damage, like the Dragon Knight's Dragon Tail, like the Breathe Fire. But if he goes for a bunch of points in those Searing Chains, and I really like this pick. It's very, very risky. It's going to be wide successful or going to be shut down hard,
5
and
seconds
that
remaining.
is some good old SEA Dota for us.
Reserve time.
Oh!
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
Yeah, I
remaining.
think the safe lane is going to be interesting here. Do you think it could be an Ember safe and someone else in the mid lane, or would that be well?
Phoenix's turn. to
Yeah,
bat.
okay. We have a Viper.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Yeah, very similar draft to first game, and I think this could be a Viper in the safe lane because he does do staggeringly well up against the Axe. Viper is a great pick here. Usually I say dirty Viper pickers, but in this game I think it's definitely necessary, and I think that Radiant have a great control draft. Like you mentioned, they have a nice spread of power between early and late. They've got nice utility supports if the AA can get a nicely timed level 6, and that's if the Ember doesn't get completely locked down, because he is very fragile. We'll see if MVP Phoenix are able to actually go in and execute as they go into their last pick here. Who's going to be their safe laner? You were plugging that Windrunner over and over again. Are you still sticking by that? What are we looking for? Safe lane MVP Phoenix. What would be a great pick here? That's not it. That's I want to give a draft advantage to TNC just because I feel like MVP Phoenix have so much melee. Like they want it up, they want to get in your face. They're gonna have Bounty Hunter set behind the lines, but Ember Spirit, I mean, he's technically melee, but he plays like a range. He can sit back from these fights and zip zap in. Viper is going to be fantastic in these early fights because he just does have that range advantage. It hurts you to attack him. He hurts back. He poisons you. He slows you. He's able to catch up. And MVP are going to have a very passive early game if they want to have a chance at taking this into the late and getting their Spectre online. So without further ado, there we go. And yeah, once again, this is the third game of a best of 3 between MVP Phoenix and TNC for the WCA 2016. I'm Annie, that's Sindar. Let's get down to it. On the side of the Dire, we have MVP Phoenix. We're going to have Farev on the Axe grouped up here. We're going to have Kyo on the Spectre. Looks like Fedi will be playing up the Bounty Hunter. Dubu is going to be on the Witch Doctor. And finally, MP will be on the Dragon Knight. How is TNC looking?
Towards the top rune area, we'll have Teehee play the Ember Spirit. Will be H taking the Flame Slaughter, Cuckoo starting on the Vengeful Spirit. That leaves AU on the Apparition, and finally hiding off on his own in the safe lane, it'll be Raven. Once again, taking that safe lane Viper.
All right, very excited to see how this turns out. We could have kind of a clash here at the top rune. That clash, I do believe, will favor the Radiant, but it depends who gets the jump on who. As Slardar, he's moving in, he's ready. Hasn't chose to, oh, there he goes. He levels up the Slithering Crush. And a Vengeful Spirit, she's still holding on to her levels, may want that Magic Missile, may need the Wave of Terror for vision. And it looks like Dire are just going to be giving up here as the Horn comes down to it. It's going to be Runes going for a 1-1 split. No decisive advantage yet. As, well, this is going to be very interesting to see what exactly goes down. What's this flag going down with the 4?
So a lot of this, sorry.
We got pennants going down. People are really rooting for MVP on this match.
I that those exist. Rev could be put out in the trees here. The slow is there from Raven. And with the 3 blocks, I don't think Forever's getting out of this.
I mean, he can try. He's got the heals if he lands into once before back Cuckoo, but yeah, the slower he goes, the more it's terrifying. And Vengeful Spirit doesn't have enough for that secondary missile for Rev. He can't get away from to die. He's got here trying to go and pop himself. Can't get blind. And just very decisive misplay. The slow is canceled, but Viper Revenge the same route to the trees definitely cost them that kill. While up top, Sam 8 is very low. They'd be not able to catch with another backstab. Mid lane, we have kind of a duel going on as AA up some of T's XP, but no problem there. We're just in it for the last hit. Now up Sam 8 once again, getting bullied by the bounty, but no kills coming out just yet.
Yeah, the fact that's live there. Forev juking into the trees, putting his salve at just a moment, and manages to save himself. But it does leave him with very little regen for this lane. And we saw in game 1, Axe against Viper, not a match up for Forev. He's going to have his work cut out for him, not feeding this lane. At the same time, though, Sam H could have a hard time on this Slardar. So far, he's been kept mostly out of XP range, and we're going to keep him that way as long as possible.
Yeah, he's to level 1 here. We are going to see Vengeful Spirit. She is ready with that missile. Just trying to force Forev out of XP range for now, but Axe is definitely going to get more out of the lane than Slardar is. Slardar does have decent comeback mechanics, but he needs to go ahead, find that early blink, go for kills, because when he's just kind of sitting there praying for a gold swing, it's not going to happen unless he starts stacking up those deaths. And now Febby is going to be going through. He's still shadow walked up. Could be looking for a courier snipe here. Radiant are trying to play this one super, super careful, and they're actually rotating back the AA to be perhaps a secondary courier because they know Bounty is probably in the area.
Yeah, that's absolutely the play. These guys have seen Bounty Hunter in one too many games. They aren't get out. Oh, the courier is coming out with AU though. No, it'll stay back. Okay.
It's so cute. I haven't actually seen this guy in game yet. Oh, mid lane. We could have a rotation in as Teehee will take a breathe fire. Will be stabbed in the back. Again, this is only a level 1 bounty, so no Janata. And now Febby is going to be no searing chains on him. They pop down his sentries. They will get vision of Febby, but they don't have a mana on the Ember to re-engage. So for now, back to passive farming. I keep getting teased out with these initiations. They're going to have blood, but nothing just yet.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the big disparity this game is going to be the offlane. Only at 2 to MVP's 4, and he's been able to farm up the hard camp on the Dire offlane. So getting a bit more. Yes. Mid lane though, the Ember is doing slightly better than the DK, but it's actually fairly even. The DK is holding his own, which is all he's required to do in this lane.
Yeah, I want to point out here that Slardar has no last hits, and that's really unfortunate. So not only is there a level disparity, Slardar is going to be poor as hell going into that Blink Dagger. If he ends up dying a couple of times, that's more and more gold as pocket milk. We could see some blood coming down mid lane, maybe. Just maybe, as they rotated the Vengeful Spirit, looking for a stun there onto the DK, but DK will appropriately back off. Bounty's there on the back line, so if anyone gets too low, they could get cleaned up here. But he's going to have to pop back into that Shadow Walk. It's only level 1. He's got the Janata.
Waiting for the courier. Oh, they're playing it so carefully, though.
This is exactly what they need to do. If they lose the courier here, that's a huge advantage. And well, they're pathing him just as cautiously around the trees as you could possibly do. He's got boots and a bottle for the Ember, so that would have been a huge load to get Bounty's paws on. Won't be able to do anything of the sort just yet. Now mid, we've essentially rotated into dual lanes as Febby hasn't left mid for a long time. Picks up his level 2, just barely. He's got 1 XP point into that level, whereas Ancient Apparition already is on 3. And Ancient Apparition is super level dependent, so that's going to be fantastic for them.
Yeah. Now, Bounty Hunter relies on early level 6. He's managed to find 2. The Venge actually just only hitting level 2 now, so she's been pretty slowed down as well.
Yeah, she's having to sit back a lot. She's going in for these stacks and pulls, but this blocking ward is doing a hero's job at making sure that Venge is not really finding a whole lot here. And Venge is too poor to buy up those sentries, only sitting on 110 gold in her bank. So it's a difficult lane for the Viper, certainly not the dominating Viper lane we saw earlier. Now Dubu underneath the tower goes for the Maledict point as he opts to skill that up on top of Voodoo Restoration. The Crush will hold back Q1 for now, but Febby on the backlands gets the slow with the Denial. This looks like it will be the first blood as Febby goes through. Nice rotation into the Bounty Hunter. Interesting skill builds in the Witch Doctor, ends up securing them the kill.
Yeah, he for that point that does definitely make the difference between getting a kill and not dying. And really, they have a lot of kill potential on this Slardar. It's a different game from last game where he didn't touch the skill at all. And Stamage is a real hard to this point. Still no boots online, 5.5 minutes in, and not even level 3 yet. He's going to have a really rough time give anything to his team this game. It's going to be a lot of catch-up, as he does even lose his tower before the 6 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if you're TNC, what do you do about that? Because Slardar has effectively lost the lane in a triumphant fashion. He gives away first blood, he gives away the tower, and that's a lane against a Spectre who spirals so well from having that freedom early game. Do you rotate the Viper, but then you lose bottom? You rotate your mid laner, but then you'd lose mid. There's just so much pressure being exerted on MVP Phoenix, and at this point in the game, dare I say, they've won every lane.
It certainly looks that way. I mean, net worth-wise, both the Dragonite and the Spectre are sitting on top, not by a whole lot, but the fact that they are even, given that they probably had the weaker matchup as far as mid lane goes, is great news for MVP. And this axe...
Okay, mid lane, MVP may end up losing their hero here, as they do get the Vengeful Spirit stun. They are going to be able to get the Searing Chain, so it will be a kill now in favor of TNC. They gain back some ground, but I was just noticing Slardar, we're almost 7 minutes in the game, still no last hits. This fish boy, he hasn't even been able to rotate into the side jungle because he's just too squishy. He doesn't have his tranquils yet.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not a hero who can jungle effectively even when he does those tranquils, and without them he really has no recourse. Now, the thing about his tower going down so early is that he actually is getting some space in the lane now.
Haunt will come in mid lane. Go in. They want to get AU here. They're having underneath the tier 1 tower. Voodoo Restoration keeps up Spectre healthy for now. They pop into Dragon Form here on MP. Going to be a very successful pick. Spectre starts things off right now. He could be in some trouble. Takes a Dragon Tail. Has the Remnant underneath his tier 1 tower. If he needs it, he's going to be running back to safety. And that Remnant will not last long enough for him to walk back to base again. But for now, he's still up to spot. Maybe A-okay as not in a bottle crow for now. Just with the empty bottle. And the Ancient Apparition, who's going to be picking that up for him. Cute little courier, looks like an icicle. And now up top, we are going to have Slardar, like you mentioned, picking up his 6th last hit of the game. Big shout out to him for finally finding an ounce of farm. Should be able to pick up his boots and has another 200 gold to work with. So very steep slope for Slardar to slither up, but he's starting to do so.
Yeah, and he needs to catch up because he's the hero who's going to be jumping in. And you don't want him to just feed a kill every time he initiates. You want him to be able to get in and then also survive long enough to get back out. That's going to be key here. And whether or not he can, but at least finding those traps give him more to work with in this early game. And now a smoke towards the bot lane from the Ember as well as Cuckoo on this Vengeful Spirit.
They've got some fantastic catch. Deep hitting out for Rev here. They shoot it. Goes for the cult. He gets that little trying to cancel us. So Viper is able to pick up his first kill of the game. That's going to set him a decent portion ahead in terms of laning, because Axe has not found kill yet, and that's going to be a little bit more space for the Viper to work on. Meanwhile, mid lane though, DK is going to be slapping away this tower, not even in dragon form, and will get most of the way down. It's slightly out of deny range, but don't think they want to go for that just yet. And well, overall, it's starting to plane out. The kill score is now even. Tower score will be in favor of MVP pretty heavily in a couple of moments as mid falls, but you know, it's not detrimental here. We are still in the early game. Ember Spirit has the potential to be beyond huge in the late game. Slaughter, it's going to run, but he does have potential to scale up by about 30 minutes. He can be a sizable fighter. But meanwhile, down bottom, Smoke in, big rotation in from MP. They're doing the same exact thing the Radiant did just a couple minutes prior, looking for a kill on the Viper, and they should be able to find it. We might see Dragon versus Dragon here as DK, waiting in the wings, had a Dragon form, has the Dragon tail. There we go. Oh, green Dragons on green Dragons. The bigger one will win this engage as 4 Dire Heroes bump up. Spectre getting the kill, not even using the Axe Dunk to secure that one, so Viper immediately backs down. There will be a TP out from TP, who can get back to the wave courtesy of that Remnant, but overall, successful game from MP.
Yeah, and Forev's going to cut the wave. There's still half duration left on this form, so they're going to probably be take the one off of this. And the fact that QO gets the last hit on that puts him back in the lead as far as Earth goes. And with these towers going down, they're starting to take map control advantage.
Ancient Average, interesting enough, does have the level 6 Ice Blast, is sending it out to the bottom lane right now. Looks like they will be able to at least get some counter damage coming up. But is it going to be enough? As Raven rotates and spread the damage onto the DK. They will get the kill as Viper takes on the Dragon Knight. And they're looking for more here. Can they get the crush? They do go onto QO, and they will be able to get the kill as it's a double kill for the Viper. They're maybe looking for one more kill as they cut the dust on Febby. Can Ventler get in range of the missile? They're going to go through. They get the series chains. They get the missile. He's locked down. Throws out a slap onto Teehee, but Teehee ends up securing the kill. He's just going to go onto the tower here. He's trying to YOLO. Doesn't have any creeps, and well, he's not quite as tanky as he thinks he is. Still, it's going to be a 3 for none as Spectre ends up falling as well. Very, very important mix on the side of TNC, so great job from them with that counter initiate.
Yeah, they do still lose their tower, but at least they get a trade. They get one in return. They find some very important hero picks. QO losing his life. He did manage to finish up his drums, though, so not really slowed too much by the death. And the most important thing is that the rest of the team's still doing quite. Bounty Hunter, the highest net worth support in the game, and this Slaughter continues to pick and leave behind the Axe.
So looking at itemization now at 11 minutes in, our net worth leader is going to be Viper, who picks himself up the Helm of the Dominator. That was the same build he went earlier on, and well, he has the Aquila as well. We'll see if he wants to continue building like game 1, or if he's going to change it up. Do you think he needs to go for a different build here, pick up a situational item?
I'm not sure. Like, unlike this game, he doesn't have an Alchemist to give him an Aghanim Scepter, although that build has really fallen off as there may be another engage. Febby spotted them out.
For some. Yeah, they don't have any vision on. Okay, there's going to be a sentry, but that Dire sentry, making sure there's no counter initiate from the Radiant. Sam H squiggling up, looking for Dubu. Will land the crush. Dubu holds onto the cask for now, as there will be a Spectre Haunt back in. Breathe Fire, Dragon Tail, swap in from the bench. Will save the life of the Slaughter for now. The cask is bouncing around. They're looking for the kill onto MP. They bring back in Teehee with full bottle. Full aggression complex going back, and they do have the series on the Dragon Knight if they need to cancel a TP. Dragon Tail will hold Teehee in place for now. MP, he's looking for something here. He knows his TP will be canceled very soon. Tries to go for the TP, but the Vengeful Spirit Missile does end up taking it down. So it's a killing spree for the Viper. They lost the Witch Doctor, they lost the DK, they traded their Slardar, but still worth. The Slardar holds on to a very small portion of the net worth of the Radiant. And now Radiant, feeling like they're a sizable lead, have got Viper at the top of the net worth chart. And well, looks like Spectre is kind of keeping pace with the Ember Spirit, but as we tip later and later into the game, Ember should outcarry the Spectre.
They do have great control for the Ember, though. And there isn't a whole lot of direct damage for Spectre. Ember, not a great matchup against the Spectre because he's not really a solo hero damager. His damage is spread out, it's AoE, and that means it's going to be hard in the late game for TNC to burst down the Spectre if the Slardar is behind. He's the one they're relying on to make them to kill QO, and so far he's not going to be able to do that for some time, as he's still a long ways away from his Blink Dagger.
Yeah, he's definitely not in a great position here. So we needs about 1,000 more gold mid lane. We are going to have Tiki going up very, very far. He knows Febby is probably nearby. Witch Doctor with the ultimate. If they get a lockdown onto Tiki, could they do something here? They're looking to get a Searing Shades as Tiki's actually the aggressor, rotating in the Viper as well as the Vengeful Spirit. They go in. There is going to be a nice Ice Blast connecting onto 4. Oh, that is huge here. A fantastic play from the Ancient Apparition. And that's going to be the stop of the fight. MVP are not going to look for anything else. Tiki throws out a Remnant, will TP back, is able to go back right into this fight as soon as he restocks his mana. Swap back in, they will get the kill onto Febby. Now, Forev goes in, no calls to be found, he puts it out, will not connect. There is going to be the Viper ultimate sprayed out onto Forev, he's attacking slow, he gets the Battle Hunger onto Cuckoo, may find a kill. Looks like there's going to be a triple kill from the Viper. Looks like Cuckoo will end up going down. Does the deny come out? No, they're going to give the kill to the Axe, but now this will be a tower turret in favor of TNC.
Yeah, and once again, TNT taking favorable engage. The fact that MVP hung around after that hit, still tried to fight. Maybe not the best because they lose 3 heroes as a result. And, well, we got some time to take stock of this game. Duo pushing in the bot lane, he saved up 1,400 gold, so could he maybe going back for a Radiance now that he's got his early game items? And Dragon Knight working on the armlet, so that's going to be a really nice choice. The Ancient Apparition in the field means if he gets hit by the Ice Blast, that item is essentially neutralized.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And
What happens here? He looking at the top of the tower, was successful with through the Dragon Knight. T got
Under attack.
on top by going into the Flight of Fist. So good heads up play by him. If he keeps a regen rune in his bottle, that's gonna be awesome. He can remnants out wherever he so pleases, and the AP in terms of the draft are staying on the back foot. What do they do to secure the
well, they've got the Bounty Hunter level 6 now. He just hit it in that last stage, working back as well. So he's the key. They can now take their trades. If they take a fight, lose a couple heroes, but take a couple in exchange, it will favor them in the end. And they do have the better late game core. So if they can continue to put the map pressure out and take these trades, these scrappy engagements where they get a couple of picks with track up, it will catapult them into the lead. They do need to not get picked off, though. They need to by the Ancient Apparition. Han comes out.
Yeah, looking to is able to get this done. We'll buy some time at least. If she goes out, not the worst in the world. She has a point in the Vengeance Aura after hit for a little bit. Now the TP's back in. Right, done the Dragon Tail. Brace who has his he's looking at crush. Go, will end up going. Come these. That's connect, and it's just going to be Forev. Might get a kill onto Raven. In fact, will get a kill onto Raven. Witch Doctor actually getting the gold for that, but he's still hunting. He's looking for more. Cloudar does have that crush in a couple of seconds. They're going to get the kill onto the Axe. Now Febby will end up going down. AA barely scraping by there. 5 HP. Will deny to neutral. That means no track gold goes the way of the bounty. So it will be a wipe in exchange for a support and a core. So losing your Viper, never ideal, but you'll hella do it for 1,400 gold and over 4,300 XP, swinging in your team's favor.
Yeah, and that dive under the tier 2 for just a support Vengeful Spirit, way too aggressive MP. They paid the price, they get caught out. QO hangs around a little too long, a nice crush from Slar sets it all. And the Ember Spirit, with those travel online, he's at the point in the game, 60 minutes in, he's got that Max Flame Guard, 3 points of steering chance. He does a lot of damage, and he will start falling off now, but helping his team win those fights, and the fact that they're taking these engagements winning means that QO's been slowed down. The Ember Spirit now passes him in net worth, and they don't get the tower either. So a big group up, a big move by MVP not paying off, and they can't afford to give up that many kills.
Good God, your internet is just atrocious at this point.
I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody.
No, it's fine. But I agree with what you're saying about the Spectre, although I have seen Spectre come back from a much bigger deficit before. She's certainly not out. She is finding herself some safe farm, but big smoking up from the Radiant. If they find a couple awesome picks here, it could be great. Swap in from MP. He's just going to get punished before he has any chance to react. Throws out a Breathe Fire with his last breath, and now there's a crush up onto Dubu. Dubu will be next on the list of deaths, and it looks like it's a double kill for Viper, holding on to a 10, 2, and 5 KDA. straight into the Roche pit for TNC. And they're going to be looking for more. They pop the Lincolns. They're fighting. They're going to bring Roche back into the cave and will secure their first Aegis of the game. There's nothing that MVP want to rotate in to prevent this. They've got the haunt. I mean, they could go for a steal, but that would be an immediate die from Spectre.
Yeah, not worth at all. And they just take this way too fast for MVP to do anything about it. The power of the Slardar showing itself. And speaking of Slardar, he's got himself right back into this game. Had a very weak start, but has passed the mid-Dragon Knight in terms of net worth. Dragon Knight keeps on getting caught out by the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast, basically nullifying him as a hero altogether.
Alright, so there's a ping out onto Feb. It does connect. Can Venge go for swap stun combo? She's got her team behind. She will take a track, but they're bringing in Slardar, who does have that Blink Crush at the ready in just a couple of seconds there. He doesn't even need it. He's so speedy with that sprint, and that's going to be Vengeful Spirit picking up a much-needed kill, giving her a bit of net worth there on the list, so she's not going to be the poorest sort anymore. That position goes the way of Witch Doctor, who is sitting on brown boots and wards and a magic wand. Yeah,
rough game for Dubu, as it will be the Bounty Hunter who need the farmer working on that mech. All has actually. And that could be a big item to turn things around, assuming it doesn't catch many. But the problem for MVP is that it seems like every time they give up a kill, it's never just one kill. Now, someone gets caught out, and someone sticks around to try and end up dying as well. You saw it with the Witch Doctor there, bot lane, when MB got out. And they can't afford to do that. They can't give up all these kills. 19-7 now your scores. The Dragon Knight falls again, and Tiki takes a tower. It just doesn't stop. TNC putting out way too much pressure, and MVP not responding well.
I did not even see that Dragon Knight go down. He was sitting way over here trying to play safe and just got punished over and over and over. And now it looks like TNC are in the position to go in and smack down this tier 2. Without the Dragon Knight going in, no Dragon form available for 70 seconds. Honestly, is there anything that MVP can do against this push? I guess go for counter push of their own. They're trying to go for a kill here onto the Ancient Apparition, but they have nothing to break the TP just yet. So Ancient Apparition goes back. That was 2 TPs and a hot spent. Now there's no way to get up to this top tower, and MVP has to let it fall. It seems like they're scrambling, they're grasping at straws, and they're not finding what they need.
Yeah, they missed on the Ancient Apparition. Tells you everything you need to know about this game's going. Haunt committed. And now tier 3 pressure comes. The Haunt is expended. Dragon Knight dirt poor. Not much to do. He doesn't even have his dragon form up. I just will connect on just one. And now the
That's
jump.
all they need. And looks like the swap out will keep Viper safe, as Viper's able to keep going in from the backline. Nice ult from the Witch Doctor, short-lived, but will get the job done, as looks like the killing spree goes the way of the AA. Crush off the mark from Sam H, and now Teehee might be taking a little bit of damage here, but he's still A-okay. This could be it, as it looks like Parev may end up just burning from the steam chains. Lardar may have bitten off more than he can chew, but he goes and he gets onto the Viper, and now Spectre's dead. No 45 seconds are MP sitting underneath the tower, just taking these tower shots. The armlet may be enough to keep him safe for now. Oh, the Ice Blast coming through. MP dodges it out like a champ. He knows it's coming for him, and now Forev will end up going down, not able to get anything out of this. And Teehee might be going through, will pop just the Aegis. So coming back, full health managing. They have the lockdown. They've got Dragon's Blood ready to go, but the call from X might be what they need to get themselves back in this. They do get the kill onto the Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit does have buyback. Doesn't opt to spend it though. They get a couple important kills. They force a lot of important buybacks, and they just back off.
Didn't get any damage done though, so that's a heavy dive under 4s. They clean up the heroes, but they don't get any building damage done. That does give MVP time to get themselves back to this. They still have not lost Elena Rax. They still have time to farm off their Spectre, but it is looking a little dire here. 23-9 now your score. The net worth has crossed the K mark.
Honestly, the K mark is very 21 minutes in game. 20K mark means if doesn't be per minute. But again, one more wipe in their favor, each just to kill the Emperor might seriously turn it in favor of MVP. And tapping out, they go for like they try to get Sam A, use lag. Here we go. Sam H is alive for now, may end up burning. He's got that battle hunger on him. Forev. The blink is still down for the seconds. So they've got all the dire Chase who has plenty of resources to get out will end up popping into his home without a I'm
just puzzled as how he got out there. Was the dragon too done, I guess? He didn't have Elder Dragon form. The sprint was just too much. Cuckoo. Catch Bevy.
Be able to spray. Very, very Ice Blast. Holy Moses. Teehee rotates back through, will get stuck in place temporarily, might be able to get the kill onto Forev, will be able to do so. Forev's no buyback, down for 70 seconds. DK does have the option to come back in the fight, but that'll be, for the most part, all of his goals, and that'll set him back even further on item progress, so he doesn't want to buy back if he doesn't absolutely have to. Meanwhile, down bottom of Spectre, she's sitting here, she's still going for the Radiance, but about 1,000 gold off for it, and now Sam 80's hunting, wants to go through, will be a TP out from the Spectre. She's not going to get caught out this time, but forced to go back to her base, more of a reliable farm for her.
Yeah, and the other big thing in that fight is that they lost a gem. It was Cuckoo's, but now it belongs to the Radiant, sitting on the Courier. And that even adds more to injury, as the network swing will be significantly altered by that map as well. They can get map control, they're deep into the enemy woods, making sure that MVP have no space to farm. One outer tower remains on the Dire side.
It just me, or does the Radiant Courier look like the Dignitas logo?
Really does.
It really does. That's what I keep thinking of when I see it. All right, so either way, back to the actual game at hand. We've got Viper doing his best. He's going to pop his little Centaur buddy into the pit, but still a long respawn on that Roche. Still about 2.5 minutes till we find out how long the spawn is. And, well, Radiant are in a good position to take that Roche. And even if they aren't the ones in the pit, the Ice Blast from the AA could be absurdly good. And AA now is over halfway to the Aghanim Scepter, needs about 500 more gold to finish that off, and that's going to be dirty. Both scans used at the same time here over near the secret shop, and neither will scout out anyone. Super Magical does connect onto Dubu, should be an easy pick for the Viper. Mega Kill Streak comes out, Haunt comes through, but Sector not opting to go into any illusions as she sits and dies down bottom. She gets locked in place, and alright, well, Spectre does end up living through that fight, taking up AA, but AA already did what she needed to do, pick up another component of the Aghanim Scepter, and up top, we've got pressure from TNC going up into the top lanes. Tower will take some more damage, need to get 4 to 5 popped. They do have back door to cut through, as mid lane, the creeps are going to get forced back.
And there is finally a Radiant duo. This is maybe what they need to defend their high ground. They will lose their tier 3, but looks like they scouted out, they will off, and should be able to get out cleanly, but the fact that they, once again, they don't lose any racks means that MVP not out of this yet, with the Radiants, can defend high ground quite well. They're going to need to, as I feel like at this point, that's the only place they can take a decent fight, is on their high ground.
Yeah, but forcing the Spectre to stay in her base or stay near her base or constantly have her haunt up is pretty taxing. And for Ev, he wants to be out, he wants to be split pushing lanes. DK as well wants to be in the jungle. So it's, if MVP are going to be looking to take those safe base fights, that means it has to sacrifice more farming time, more net worth. Absolutely,
and that's the conundrum they're in. MP actually gets out of the map, now he's got a but probably going to be a lot of sentry vision.
Gem is a good item here, Vengeful Spirit. Not going to get fooled by MP this time. Just slapping him down, essentially nullifying that Shadow Blade. Was the Shadow Blade picked up after the gem? I believe it was.
Well, I mean, also you're against a Slardar who's got amplified damage, and you're on the same team as a Bounty Hunter, so you know they're going to be buying detection. Shadow Blade just an odd choice for me this game. I would have much rather seen a Blink Dagger. That's what he chose to go for. It does cost him his life there as he gets caught out, and this could be another high ground push without the Dragon Knight to defend. Up 25 seconds, but no buyback.
Vengeful Spirit's hunting. She does have that gem still, so go in if she scouts out the Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter playing this one so safe. We'll just TP back to his base from his low ground. It looks like the racks will end up falling. MVP, it looks like they're just letting it happen. Spectre's going through and cutting the wave, but I mean, they don't care about backdoor at this point. It's going to be Teehee slapping down the racks. He's got absurd amounts of farm right now, sitting tied with the Viper at the top of the chart. There will be a call onto the Viper, and there will be a haunted from the Spectre once again, but Rev locked in place, taking some poison, take damage to the backlands. You do have AU going down to MP on the DK, but there, nice ultimate from the Witch Doctor. Will do some work, and now MP may end up going down. I don't believe he has buyback. He does not, so he has to fight for his life here, most literally, and will end up going down. This could be GG, as Forev may end up falling as well. Dubu, not long for this world. Forev running back, trying to get away with his life, is going to get a Sleight of Fist right to himself, and their Searing Chains are off cooldown if they can get the kill. Crush connects! Oh man, Sam H, with a fraction of his health, goes back through, landing the crash that allows Raven to get a triple kill. Viper doing fantastically here, and that's going to be a 32-13 kill lead. Bounty Hunter is solo defending his base right here. DK has buyback if he absolutely needs it, but Spectre, Axe, they're out for good. We do have over a 15,000, almost 20,000 disparity gold, so now it's getting to the point where you're in trouble if you're on MVP.
We're long to that point. They are holding on for life, nails clutching at the edge of the cliff.
Double Scotty.
Yeah.
Viper and Ember picking it up at the same time. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess two Scotty are better than one. Seems a little bit extraneous, but they can do it. They're richer than hell. As now Sam H goes in, lands a nice crush onto Febby. Will end up taking a negative earn and does have to go back down to the low ground. So QO, some nice zoning presence coming up from the Spectre. They may not lose a whole lot just yet. Oh, with the nice shackle there onto Farev means they will get a kill onto the Axe. Swap back down to the low ground. QO will end up going in. Sam H does end up losing his life, and QO, he may end up going down as well. This could be it. This will be it. Godlike streak for the Viper going in. Febby goes down. They're trying to turn their attention onto Tiki, but Tiki's too big. They're going to get down everyone but MP. MP is the lone survivor now. Just takes an ice blast at point blank. Just execution style right to the face. And now DK buys back. They do have a buyback on Bounty as well, but what does he really offer if he comes back in? You want him to save his gold. The racks will be falling in the mid lane. Melee first and now ranged as DK working his way up. I think he had a wraparound, I guess, but I just don't think he's big enough to take on all of the Radiant heroes, so he buys back essentially for naught as he leaves his racks to fall on own accord, and the rest of the Radiant are able to back off safely. They lose their Venge, they lose their Slardar, they get exactly what they came for.
Yeah. At this point, Raven is out of control. Almost 19 on the Viper. He's hitting the highest net worth. He's even above his own Ember Spirit, who got to Boots of Travel and a Battle Fury, but he's still farming faster. This Viper out of control, and Raven showing why his team value this hero so much. Combined with the Ancient Apparition, it makes MP's heroes feel completely useless. I mean, now that the Scotties are up, MP, if you thought he was garbage before, well, with that Scotties, this hero does absolutely nothing. And effigies are falling in the base as QO trying to defend, but it's more or less over, and MVP going to go for one last desperate defense, but if they win this, then I'll imagine they'll just concede.
Alright, so Cuckoo will go through. We'll skip this rotation, swap back in. We've got a haunt. They're looking for everything here, but they're finding nothing so far. Farev gets shackled in place by the Ever Spirit Series chase. This could be it. The Guardian Greaves come out, trying to keep everyone healthy. Witch Doctor with a fantastic ultimate, actually zoning back all the Radiant heroes. Raven, he's still going through. They might find a kill onto QO, but Raven actually turned on himself here. Will end up getting very, very low. QO still alive. Will the poison tick down? Tiki trying to do what he can. Will get the kill onto the Spectre. Spectre has buyback, and the GG is called out as everyone else goes down. It's just going to be a Bounty once again. Trying to find something here. Fetty. I mean, he finds the Viper. That was a 1,700 gold advantage for the Bounty Hunter, but they're not going to be able to build off of that. So the GG does go in favor of TNC. That means they take a 2-1 victory in this best of 3 series of the WCA 2016. What some crazy games of Dota we had going on here. What a back and forth game. Very glad you got to join me here, Sindar. So hopefully you enjoyed what Sindar had to say about the game. Couldn't have done it without him. Where can everyone find you?